Secretary Norberto Gonzales, thank you for visiting us at the Manila Times. Sir, with just a few days before the elections, maybe we should ask how you are. Diba? What's preoccupying you in the final days of...
Well, I'm trying to fulfill yung mga invitations. There are invitations, and unfortunately for me, the invitations are in difficult places to reach.
Yes.
all over the country?
Yeah, I'm trying my best to. These are small constituencies, but since they have invited me, I will be in Alegria, Cebu tomorrow. I will have to do it via Dumaguete.
Wow.
And they cross the sea or the mountain. But anyway, I try to fulfill as much. But mostly I'm in Zoom meetings, which to me is very fulfilling. Kasi maraming sumasali international. I'm surprised. Mga scholars natin sa Korea, sa Japan, we have scholars trying to remain. And they like the programs I'm upgrading. And then, actually, my mind is already busy on the next year.
Okay.
Post-election, there are certain talks na parang hindi magiging stable the first year. I'd like to be able to respond to that. Kaya tinitignan ko na yan. And then how do you establish the foothold of the advocacies that I have been speaking about?
Right. Sir, you were formerly Defense Secretary, so it kind of concerns me when you say you're foreseeing some problems in the first year.
Yes.
Can you give us some parang explanation? What are you expecting, and then maybe what should be done to mitigate the problem?
To me, the best thing to do is to expose things.
Okay.
As a first step, you immediately talk about it.
Okay.
So that will discourage certain elements, especially those whose thinking is bordering on destabilization. It will be good to expose them. So what are the possibilities?
Okay.
For example, I don't see much from the camp of BBM.
Okay.
Because if you go by historical examination, see, the Marcoses do not want trouble. If ever there will be some problems in the electoral event that we will have, I think they will resort more on legal action than anything. Although surprisingly, both BBM and Sara are saying that they will celebrate their victory in EDSA. That to me is, I have the access to the internal organization of BBM Sara, but for them to say that they will celebrate victory in EDSA is, I think, loaded.
No. You think it might provoke some camps?
Well, I think they might preempt because it's been going on for months. If you look into the social media noise of the camp of Vice President Robredo, they're saying that more or less they will not or they cannot accept a defeat, and that they're thinking of the possibility of people power. So I think they are consciously pursuing the elements of people power. For example, they're very heavy on the church. I feel bad that, this is the first time this is happening, that priests, religious elements are being broadcasted as part of their support mechanism. Normally, of course, priests do express their preferences, even during the time of Cory Aquino. They were never published. The resolutions. Ito ngayon, may resolutions pa yung mga, for example, La Sala, I think is the first one.
Yes.
This kind of violate a very, a tradition in the church wherein you're supposed to express your views. You're supposed to state your principles in terms of some moral issues, etc. But you don't go partisan.
Yes.
You don't go partisan.
The separation of the church and the state.
Yeah, it's to me, having seen this a few times in the past, there is a very important task for the church when things happen in a country. For example, during the time of ERA, I know that it was Cardinal Vidal who calmed ERA and said, don't engage in violence, you go by treating of the nation, things like that. And he is true. During the time of President Gori, during the People Power Revolution, 86, it was Cardinal Sin.
Yes.
And also Cardinal Vidal, and a group of priests who really calmed the situation. That's why I had to issue a statement. I don't know if that's disliked or liked by some camps, but I have to say that the church should be particular about them being the moral compass of a nation. They serve that purpose. In times of crisis, they will be looked upon to do something, but if they are partisan, how can they perform their job as they should? Yun ang isa sa nakita ko kasi. But in the preparation of Vice President Norberto, I think it's a deliberate design to engage the church because they see the formula of people power is church as an institution, the armed forces, then people. That's why I see that their attempt to really make the rallies really big is preparation for people power. Sorry, my mind operates that way. So I see that their series of showing bigger and bigger ground is preparation for people power. In the meantime, they're trying to convince bishops, priests, deliberate that they are going to churches. That's preparatory to a people power revolution, 1986 vintage. And then the armed forces, siguro nahirapan sila dyan. They're trying to gather retired generals to express their support. The Vice President. Unfortunately, BBM is doing the same.
Okay.
They're also, through, I think, Colonel Cherubin, also gathered about the entire. So what do I see? I think the camp of BBM knows already about the potential of a people power.
Okay.
So Sarah and BBM himself is already announcing we will celebrate victory in EDSA. So seeing already the confrontation. Now, the problem there is hotheads.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, what will the president do?
Okay.
That's the other, I don't see much problem in the case of the president himself. But he has close-in influencers that would think of maybe attempting either to consolidate their possible bargaining leverage to whoever is going to win as president, or the right plan. Kasi I have been in at least one administration.
Yes.
Normally in the last months of a presidential term, there are all sorts of conspiracies, laws, because it's very difficult to get just live and give up your religious power. There's always that possibility. And we are looking at some of the interest groups inside the office of the president.
Yes.
I think there will be some times. What is important is for the armed forces to be also non-partisan.
Okay.
That will be very important. I can see that I think officers are beginning to talk about what will they do in case this thing happens. The police is preparing the same. And what is particularly disturbing, I have been to Cotabato 2-3 days ago. Even in that place, the question is what's going to happen. The election will be, there will be a postponement of the election, it will not happen. That's why some politicians are telling me, Secretary, let them tell us kasi we would like to know whether we will release our, naman during the last days.
Of course, yes.
Ito talaga ba ito?
Yeah.
Yes.
Secretary, sabihin mo ba kami kasi sayang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, everywhere I go, yan, ang tinatanong, Secretary, pera ko.
Kumatut, yes.
Totoo ba o hindi?
Yeah.
This is, in fact, the past few elections that I have been around, this is the first time. Ito pinaka-noisiest election when it comes to
The theories and the yes. Yes.
Things are being discussed. So for me, I'm listening very hard to the armed forces
Okay.
because I believe so far, despite probably some accusations that nabili na sila ni Duterte,
Yeah.
remaining steadfast.
Okay.
I'm very happy about the armed forces being.
So you're confident in their professionalism.
I'm
Yes.
confident on that. I'm confident on the armed forces.
Okay.
I'm quietly trying to talk to some friends in the church.
Okay.
Sabi ko, please be reminded of your obligation as an institution. Baka may mangyari, it will always be, I think the armed forces will also look to from the church. Para kasi nobody was really
Of course.
Yeah.
you have to calm it down. So I'm also happy that there are enough bishops quietly saying that no. In my diocese, we are not partisan. But what's important will be the Cardinal of Manila. Important at the bishops of the neighboring dioceses.
Yes.
These are important. I would say that with respect to the bishops of the national capital region, break even. I mean,
Okay.
balance.
Yeah.
Lalo na you notice na hindi. I'm very happy with my own bishop, for example. When I issued that statement of the requirement of the church to be non-partisan, he declared officially 3 days ago that my diocese would be non-partisan. May mga ganun na reaction. This is important to us to see the election go through without disturbing incidents.
Yes.
So,
Let me take a step back, Secretary. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way,
yeah.
but you seem to be describing a scenario where you don't win in the election. Are you resigned to that what the survey may suggest that it's either BBM or VP Lenin?
I've been to several elections.
I don't need to embarrass you, sir.
I like the question.
Okay.
I like the question. I can explain myself. I've been to elections, and especially when I was in office, I would say I was rather active behind the scenes. So I know what surveys are, how surveys are conducted, how they're done. I would say that without necessarily favoring me, it's just that I know that for some reason, for example, now statisticians are beginning to talk. There seems to be some little bit of influencing in the part of the surveys.
Yes.
Going. I see this as the intensification. Kasi, alam mo yung ating lalo na yung SWS, pulsation, hindi basta-basta nagpapa-influence yun.
Okay.
It will be very difficult to influence these people, having known that I don't know the new owners. But I have dealt with SWS and Pulse Asia during my time. They're very decent teams. I can only see that it will take some very high level interest to influence their methods.
Okay.
So I would think in terms of US and China, possibly playing on the side, because otherwise, yung baka, ito mga, at least the two that I named, mahirap i-influence yan.
Okay.
Unless talagang highest level. So yeah, that's why when I see that there are some defects, for example, in the sampling, I have no access to the questions.
Okay.
Kasi I have been dealing with people who use surveys all over the world. There was a time I was with the Association of Political Consultants in the West. I had to do it during my time. And very important yung questions, it's a sampling. This is where possibilities of errors or mistakes.
Yes.
Right.
For example, they're saying that ano yun tayo, generation and the millennials,
Millennials.
the sampling year sacrifice their participation in the surveys by as much as 40%.
That
Okay.
The number of respondents. That really affects already. And of course, Pulse Asia have admitted that they eliminated A and B in one of their surveys. That is to me, parang may question tayo dapat dyan. But it doesn't mean that I am higher in the survey.
Okay.
I think that I'm generally lower.
Okay.
I'm just wondering whether I am even less popular than Norberto or Norberto has
Yeah.
higher results, no? Or
Montemayor.
Montemayor.
or even Leodi.
Yeah.
Ako hindi na ako lumalabot dun sa
Yeah.
just these things, you look at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ako yung latest survey ko sa Pulse Asia, I'm 0.01. But when I look at the results, I'm 0 in all. So where did they get
0.0, yes.
Kung saan nanggaling yung dalating
Yes.
point that I have when I'm 0 in all.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
paano nila na-produce yung 0.1? But this is
Yeah. What do you think is not getting through? Because you have the experience. I mean, you've served in national government. You've held major portfolios. You've been very active politically. Even before that, I think during the Marcos years, I think during the SMNI event, you were saying you were even an exile. So you were deep in political. No.
I know, but as far as my agenda is concerned,
Okay.
I'm very, very satisfied.
Okay.
Because that what is my agenda? Number one is to present another way, an alternative way of campaigning,
Okay.
Yes.
restricting myself to giving more and more, explaining to the people the future of the country, what kind of societal models do we need,
Yeah.
what is our, why is it that politics seems to be the one as it serves as the stumbling block of development in the Philippines? Nobody among our leaders has spoken about becoming first world.
Yes. I think you're the only one who said that.
That's why are we not attempting to be first world? It's not something that will happen by accident.
Yeah.
You have to,
You have to will it. Yeah.
Yes. Take the first step.
It seems that we are a nation who wants to remain poor. Because there's really no strategic planning as to how we will become richer. And really, the truth is that my whole more than 9 years in office, given all the beautiful plans that some of our experts are presenting, when you're in the office of the president, I don't know now, but during my time as National Security Advisor, the president makes it a point that I am president in practically all clusters of the cabinet, that I accompany her on the most sensitive meetings happening internally, for eyes to,
Right.
I'm there,
Yeah.
and they're behind her. listening to all these discussions. Our political system is what is killing the country. There's more than enough to go for. Grabe. And it's really all our vested interest that is really stopping us. That's why I said that if I run, I will try. I said I will try for people to really understand and see that what is fundamentally wrong in our society is our politics and the way we practice it. That's why I'm focusing there. Pag ko pa lang sinabi, maybe some of my friends are telling me, you know, our people will not understand you. Kasi it's how you explain things.
Yes.
And I think I have succeeded wonderfully. Of course, when you compare my TikTok with CBN, it's more than 1 billion hits in TikTok. Ako naman, I didn't pay anything, anybody when it comes to this. Social media, nothing. Just really
Organic, yes.
organic. I have 10.3 million
Wow.
in TikTok. Oh. Our SMNI, 2 million
Wow.
on the first night.
Yes.
The next day, si Bode had to call me.
Oh, really?
He called me, Robert, nagpapakilos ka. Sabi ko, salamat po, Pastor. Sabi niya, galing mo. I was able to get Tibure to call me because of that statement. Sabi ko, wow, this indicates that there is a clientele out there that
Yes.
wants fundamental changes.
Yes.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
Laying down the foundation of the kind of issues that we should be continuing
Okay.
has been laid down.
Okay.
Yes.
I see that in the social media.
Okay.
I don't see some of my friends are telling me when the election is over, wala naman siya yung bias. Then it's time to really sponsor our own channel
Okay.
and also reveal about issues.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to measure. I'd like to really measure who likes church change.
Right.
Yes.
Who wants a shift to the parliamentary system?
Yes.
How about the regional autonomy concept? Federalism of the ASEAN region. To me, these are very fundamental for the future of the country.
Right.
Yes.
It will cost me probably 5 to 7 billion pesos, but I think it will work.
Okay.
I'd like to measure this. Then we can begin to outline how we will conduct our struggle for change.
Yes.
I'd like to see who do I really represent?
Right. Right.
Young people, yung pala, dalawa na pala ang young people ngayon, Lise at saka
Millennials.
Dalawa na. I don't worry too much about our board,
Okay.
the DNP. I have 50 years of experience talking to them.
Okay.
And they know me, I know them.
Okay.
So medyo, and then most important to me are two important sectors of our society. Number one, the Baksakan.
Okay.
Yes.
They have protected them, saved my life, literally saved me. And I was very touched by Muslim Sena, who is now the new chairman of the MLF. Actually, si Misoan is the chairman. And he said, Bert, you are the only person who truly knows this. Ang nangyari, yung dalawang partido ngayon sa MILF has its own party, sinuportahan sila.
Okay.
And then the MNLF has its own, yung the Bangsamoro Party,
Yes.
which I visited a few days ago. And they're pledging their support. What the Norberto camp doesn't know is that in the last 3 years, or even 5, there's been a dialogue between MN and MILF forces on the ground. They have been exchanging views, talking. Well, that is why when I'm asked, what will we do with the autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao? I said, they extended the election. You know, walang election for the next 3 years. Cancel the election that should happen with this election and move into 3. Sabi ko, there's only one way that peace will be guaranteed. Because yan, yung pag-extension parang it's favoring the MILF. Sabi ko kay Haji Murad, Haji, you talk to Haji Murad, your counterpart in the MILF. You have to share power during these 3 years. Kailangan, yung appointment na gagawin ni Haji Murad is more than one. Kasi si Muslim Islam has been appointed Minister of Labor. Sabi ko, kailangan equitable yan. Otherwise, there will be trouble again. Yung conflict ng mga tribes. No? But anyway, that's one. The other issue that I think is very important is the issue of the indigenous peoples.
Okay.
Of Mindanao, there are more than 100 tribes out there. And what have they been doing all these years? Pag may negotiation ang government sa UP, sa Ministry, kinukuha silang participant in the paggumagawa ng panel. Nandiyan sila, nakasingit sila. MNLF, the same. MILF, the same. Sabi ko, you have your own issues. You have your own concern. Why do you keep riding on the...
Yes.
Kasi, alam mo, ang mga dato, kasi they're very shy. I said, it's about time. Sabi ko, you stand. You speak up. Why do you always join this negotiation? You can have your own negotiation. Sabi ko, you see, this is one of my proposal is something like this. All regions will be declared autonomous. But corollary to this, kasi yung meron na tayong autonomous region for the IPs in the Cordilleras. So I'll put one in Mindanao. We'll really put out one. Pag pinagsama-sama yung mga kadti nila, yung ancestral domains, easily, in the four boundaries of, we'll say, Agusan, Misamis Oriental, there are 4 provinces. In the middle of that, we can assemble 1 million hectares. Sabi ko, yan. Autonomous region for the indigenous peoples of Mindanao. We will create more, kaya 18 na yung ating magiging IPs. Sabi ko, you have the tribes are scattered all over Mindanao, but you need a center where you can all register, where you can develop your culture. Tsaka yun, kasi, and iniisip ko, 1 million hectares might be preserved. Kasi pag binigyan mo sa IPs yan, hindi nila gagawin yan. Import, maybe 1,000 hectares to really but the whole area. At saka I have chosen the center of this. There's what you call, I forgot the name, but this is called Bundok Banal. It's a mountain, beautiful mountain with a level top. This is, dito sinasambayan ng mga IPs. Nakakatawa nga yung mga treasure hunters. Kasi dito daw nakabaon yung mga treasure ng mga tribes. Nakakatawa. Alam mo, nahuhukay nila? Plato. Because it's the treasure of the tribes before. Nakabili sila ng plates, supply. It's buried in this place. They're considered sacred. Tatawanan nga kami kasi during my time, I was told by the IPs to protect this mountain. Sabi ko sa kanila, this mountain will be the center of your region. It will be your altar. So, malaki yan. Tapos dito may plain. Dito napili kayo kanilang. These are some of my dreams. And I will do this. So, baka nga executive action, makreate na natin ito eh. I'm studying the possibilities. Baka makreate na natin yan for the IPs kasi kawawa talaga sila. This is some of the things I'm looking at.
It's a wonderful dream, Secretary. Pero can I go back to the nightmare you opened with? How did you get to the conclusion or the suspicion that the Lenny camp will not accept anything but victory now?
You can do it.
Okay.
You monitor your social media.
Okay.
Choose 2 or 3 sites.
So this is your analysis.
Yes, this is correct. Because makakawa ka lang 2 or 3 sites and go back. Go back siguro towards the middle of the campaign. No? Nagsisimula na sila mag-agitate. Mag-agitate na for people power.
Yeah.
Sabi nila, dadayain sila ng BBM. Unfortunately, usapan din, baka ang peak ang mandaya.
Okay.
Because of three things. Number one, why is NAMPRA very silent today?
Okay.
They are not participating in ginagawa ng PAMELEC. Why is PPCRB very quiet? Apat pala. And why is Rowena Guaso saying that Smartmatic is okay? Sa hearing, sabi niya, no, Smartmatic is alright. Former Chief Justice Carpio saying the same thing. Because Smartmatic is the machinery they use in cheating BBM during the Vice President. That is a known fact.
Okay.
But they really cheated for VP Robredo. And why are they all silent now? When all the security features of Charismatic has been suspended.
Yes.
According to our kunyari, talk of, anong first name is Celis?
Noel Nelson? Yeah.
Nelson Celis is saying that. Oh, who is the other partner of, yung ating mga experts, even Glenn Chong, saying, why are the security features suspended? Wala na yung ultraviolet. Wala na yung, alam mo, there are about 5 features eh. They are all suspended and nobody's complaining. No, I mean, and why is BBM saying I will be cheated? He's worried. Ako I'm being accused of being pro-BBM. So, but you know, I'm just saying, I think my basis in fear. Because up to now, Duterte has not said, I'm supporting BBM. The cheating machinery is controlled by the president, as we all know. Hindi pa gumagalaw yan. So, if both camps realizes what the other camp is doing, what will they do? That's why I'm having this, plus all the talks. You know, every politician is now discussing the possibility that the election will be reset.
Sir, can I go back to the press con you had with Mayor Damagoso, Mayor Isko, and Senator Lacson?
Okay.
Because afterwards, Senator Lacson was saying there were some statements made by Mayor Isko that was off script. Ano ba talaga yung totoo? What brought you there? What were you expecting to say? And
Kasi I have been
what surprised you?
Personally, I have been approached 3 times.
Okay.
By the Lenny camp, and I did not beat the Vice President herself.
Okay.
But the people who saw me are really influential people. They're not.
Okay.
And there are 2 are friends of mine, Talagang masakit na, you're a presidential. Well, and then your friend will tell you, mag-withdraw ka na lang,
Yeah.
Anyway, I have been trying to explain to them. At least yung nag-approach siya, sabi ko, your scheme is wrong. For example, sabi ko, what will be my impact in all of this? I'm 0 in the polls. So, at saka, considering all the responses I'm getting in my social media, our people are friendlier to BBM than to Lenny.
So, hindi lilipat sa kanya?
Hindi lilipat sa kanya. Oh. And number 2, if anything happens, because the supporters of BBM are closer to me, they will shift to me more than to Lenny. Because ang laki ng porsyento ng BBM na anybody but Lenny. Meron ganun and vice versa, di ba?
Okay.
Vice versa, sabi ko, pag tinanggal niya ako, hindi pupunta kay Lenny. Ngayon, kung nandiyan ako, baka nga lumipat pa yung ibang BBM because they always say, alam mo, Secretary, kung hindi lang kay BBM, sa iyo kami eh. Sa akin pa yan lilipat.
Yeah.
Ibig sabihin, makakabawas kay BBM.
Right.
Sabi ko, kung my presence might just a little bit BBM's votes. So, bahala na si Lenny, magpataas pa siya.
Right.
Bababa ng konti yung i-ambisyon niya na malampasan.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, the same with the profile of Ping at saka si Isko. Same profile, even Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to yung talagang pumupunta kay Lenny. Alam mo, ang nakakainis na character is hypocrisy.
Okay.
And that's very evident. I have, anyways, almost over. The hypocrisy is very evident in the forces of Lenny. And people are turned off with that. So, can you imagine ako? Why will you say that dapat magsakripisyo ka? At saka the way I was talked to, sabi pa sa akin, it's a heroic act. What makes it so heroic to withdraw? You know what will happen to my name if I do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Galit sa iyo lahat ng supporter mo. And they will, so everyone will say na bayaran ka.
Yeah.
You ruin your reputation by withdrawing. That's why they say it's a heroic act. Pare-pareho kami. Si Isko is the one that's most bitter.
Okay.
I knew this because we had lunch after.
Okay.
We had lunch. And he was telling me, sabi niya sa akin, Secretary ha, please. Sabi niya, rough ako. Sabi niya, lumaki ako sa kasama ko mga kriminal. But I'm trying very, very hard to behave. Sabi niya talaga, uma-adjust talaga ako sa mga educated, sa mga katulad ng mga dilaw. I am adjusting very, very hard, but I'm trying my best. Sabi niya, wala akong magawa eh. Sabi niya, mga kriminal lang nakaikot sa buhay ko nung ako'y bata. Babaki ako na ganyan. At least I'm trying to be decent. Sabi niya, kaya, Secretary, please, sabi niya, huwag mo akong pagdudahan. Kasi wala sa plano namin yung pag-resign ni si Lenny.
Okay.
Sabi niya,
So that's clear. Now,
that's clear. Sabi niya,
that's
yeah,
part of the plan talaga.
nag-apologize sa akin. Our plan are simple.
Okay.
Kasi nga, sabi ko, if I will bring these people together, kailangan ang gagawin mong agreement, yung talagang walang nakakalaman.
Okay.
Talaga. So I talked to them one by one. I told them, agreement number 1, walang atras.
Okay.
Because I know that everyone don't want to
Okay.
withdraw. No withdrawal. Number 2, do you notice it? Sabi ko, each time we will have this activities na magkakasama yung mga presidentials, yung comments sa social media, nakakatuwa naman ang mga presidential, magkakaibigan, nagkakasundo. Sana magkasundo sila for the country, for them. Yun ang sinabi ko sa akin. Do you notice this? They'll be happy. So sabi ko, agreement number 1, we will say, if any one of us will win the election as president, the rest will be appointed by the winning candidate in whatever position. Ang ibig sabihin, we will show the public na ito, ang mga presidential nyo, nangangako maglilingkod together for your interest. Sabi yan, everybody likes that. Number 2, lalo na si Ping. Dami niya natatanggap na reports eh. Number 2, if there's going to be any move that will jeopardize our democracy, we will combine our forces to defend. Yung item number 2, hindi masyadong na-discuss sa
Medyo round.
Those were the only 2 agreements. Of course, yung number 1, yung wala mag-withdraw. And then, 2 agreements for us. Yun na nga, we will join the others. Whoever wins, we will join his government. Tapos yun, laban sa destabilization. That's all. That's really our agreement. Itong si Isko, sabi niya nung nag-lunch kami, Secretary, hindi ako nakapigil eh.
Nadala na lang siya sa...
Sabi niya, nung madinig kita nagsasalita, pinapaliwanag mo yung... Tapos lalo na si Senator Lacson, nadinig ko, umalab kasi na, sabi niya, naalala ko yung ginawa sa akin ni Paes eh. Kasi sabi niya, Secretary, kung naging, lang ba, yung open sea, yung talagang, kwetas claras lang talaga si Paes. Kasi kinausap niya ako bago pa kami mag-file, sabi niya. 2 beses. Si Kwan ito, si Isko.
Isko.
2. Sabi ko sa sabi daw ni Paes, sabi niya, Mayor, hindi ako kakandidato. Gusto ko lang mag-unite ako opposition. Sabi niya, pala kakandidato siya. Kung sinabi niya sana, Mayor, I'm running for president. Pero kailangan magkakasama tayo. Sabi niya, alam mo ba, Secretary, sa isip ko, kung sinabi niya, I'm willing. Either vice or senator niya. Willing ako. Kung kinausap niya ako ng, yung yung ganun ba? Sabi niya, 2 beses inulit ka. Lagi niya siya sabi, hindi ako kakandidato, unite lang. Sabi niya, hindi ka pala kami, ako kakandidato. That's his goal. That's how he reacted to this. No? Kaya malalim yung sabi niya, parang niloko ako ni Lenny. Si Ping naman, sa kanya, sabi niya, yung unang invitation sa akin ng cooperation. Sabi niya, pinaghandaan ko yun.
Okay.
Pinaghandaan ko. Gumawa ako ng formula. Kaya nung nag-usap sila ni Lenny, sabi niya kay Lenny, Lenny, let us define a particular time or period. Kung ikaw mas mataas sa survey, atras ako.
Okay.
Sabi niya, kung ikaw mababa, atras ka. Join. Sabi naman daw nila, hindi po pwede yan. In other words, hindi sila nagkasundo.
Right.
Then after a period of time, Prof. Drilon called him, si Frank, si Ma'am Aquino, at si Vice President, kita ulit. Sabi daw ni Vice President sa kanya, yan, no, Ping, mas mataas na ang sabi ko sa iyo, baka 2 points sa yata task-keeping nun eh. Sabi, Ping, pambihira ka. Nung sinasabi ko sa iyo, ayaw mo, tapos ngayon nakita mo na nakakataas ka, saka mo sasabihin ako, ano sabi, ano klase? Doon siya nainis. Sabi ko, grabe ka naman. Kung tinanggap mo, hindi okay. Ngayon, kung kailan nakakita mo lang na may advantage ka, everybody is unfeeling. Para bang nilalamangan. That is the sentiment among us four. That's why. Siya totoo si Pacquiao. Kasali talaga siya. Siya ang unang tumango dito eh.
Okay.
Kaya lang.
Who initiated this? You?
I'm the one who initiated this. I'm the one who initiated this really. At saka nagkataon lang naman kasi yung mga close in ito mga kandidato ay meron akong access. Friendly.
Yeah.
So,
you've been around, you know everyone.
Comparing notes, etc. So, pare, pakisabi mo sa principal mo kung ano kanya. Kaya na, pag upo ko kay Manny Pacquiao, is very happy. Sabi ko, Manny, pag-isipan mo na kung ano mga pwesto namin sa gobyerno, tuwa pa kasi. Paano ba ibibigay ko kay Senator Ping? Mga ganyan po eh. Mga ganyan pa usapan, kaya nakakatuwa talaga eh. I was happy. Si Ping, hindi pa, pagharap ko, hindi pa kami nakakawa, but okay na ako sa proposal mo. Sabi sa akin, okay na ako, Bert. Gusto ko lang ikwento sa iyo yung karanasan ko kasi ang sakit ng dibdib ko. Kanya si Ping. Kaya lang medyo, ang nangyari ngayon dyan, I think our big together in a way, has a positive impact on the armed forces of the Philippines.
Do you think, Secretary, kung, like you said, if the VP talked to you before, parang, before you filed, let's get together, I'll run, pero please join me. Do you think things would have been different? Do you think you would have...
Wala akong planong tumakbo. Okay. Gusto ko lang mag-advocacy.
Okay.
In fact, hinanap ko si Vice President 3 months.
Okay.
Kasi nag-meeting kasi kami, ganda ng usapan namin. Hindi pa yung tungkol sa candidacy. This is way early. Okay. So, I said, let's get together para ayos natin yung...
You wanted to contribute some ideas?
Gano'n ba? Para may position, gano'n. Wow. Lahat ng connection ko pinutol eh. I don't know why.
Wow.
Ay, dilaw yun eh. Yung circle niya kasi yellow, alam ko naman, anti-arroyo. Ako, ang duda nila sa akin, I don't have my own mind. I am the puppet of President GMA. That's what people are saying. So, ako, the truth of the matter, I did even talk to the former president. I did it. I know that this issue will be, and I do not want to put her in a uncomfortable position. I know that how pragmatic a politician she is. And I know that if I talk to her, she will discourage me from running. I don't have the I don't have the money.
Yeah.
She knows I have a network, but the most important to her, I think, is money and connections
Yeah.
with the proper
Yeah.
people, which I do not have. No? So, alam ko, i-stop niya ako. I didn't see her.
It's incredible. What's your agreement? Does it still stand you with yung kay Senator Lacson? With,
Yes,
so if there's a destabilization,
we'll combine it.
how do you operationalize it? And how do you, what are your
For
discussions?
example, connections, no? There's an informal yung checking ng armed force sentiment.
Okay.
Kaming dalawa ni Ping Lacson ang pinaka-influential sa loob ng armed forces,
Yeah,
for
all of the
example.
connections there.
Na pareho kami. Siya mas, kasi kung siya, cavalier siya.
Yes.
Diba ako, private citizen, but I have served. No?
Yes.
Kaya, I think na kung kami ni Ping Lacson will speak together, it will be very powerful
It will
Okay.
be same.
inside the armed forces. Kami naman ni Ping, given our age, given our experience, both our experiences in the services and ako, National Secretary, Vice siya, head ng police, hindi kami magkakalayo ni Ping. We will opt for peace. Alisin yung trouble kasi talaga kawawa ang tao natin. I know we're good there. Then, Cisco, he's mayor of Manila. Pag nagkagulo dito, pinakamalaking porsa magagalit kay Isko. You know? And you know, Pacquiao, to be frank, sabi ni Manny, nung pa naman sekretary, nag-uusap na tayo nung araw, iniintay lang naman kita. Ganun yung usapan. So I'm very happy today. I have given the nation an idea of how we can be. No, kung talagang matinulang yung political leadership natin and system. And then, in case na may manggugulo, more than the two, I think yung alyansa naming apat will be important to the country.
Yeah.
Ang hindi ko na lang masyadong hindi pa masyadong confident kasi hindi ko pa consolidated yung the religious communities. Importante yan. Ang mangyayari, magiging dominant ang Catholics. Kasi, kunyari, si El Shaddai, matanda na si Brother Mike.
Yeah.
Hindi na siya masyado. Ang iglesia naman, BBM, di ba? So, medyo aalyado din dyan. Kung may manggugulo, I don't think BBM will be the source. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, okay tayo. As far as I can see.
If you can separate yourself first from a candidate, put your security expert hat back on, how would you analyze BBM? What would be the greatest challenges facing him? Should he come out?
I
the
think,
winner in selection?
well, alam mo, yung BBM, idol niya talaga ang kanyang father.
Okay.
So what are I know that his program will be dependent on what he thinks about his father and the programs of his father.
Okay.
There's one important element that I think will be good for the country. Si FM, ang kinukuha niyang kabinete are the best.
Okay. Technocrats.
Technocrats. Gagayahin ni BBM yan. So that's good for the country.
Okay.
Now, negative issues. Only one issue. Wealth.
Okay.
Hidden wealth. No. So, you know, when I was in office, I was approached by Greg Araneta.
Okay.
He wants the intervention of some bishops. Sabi niya, pagod na kami. We want to settle. Ilan ang porsyento for the government, ilan ang porsyento ikikip nila. I remember telling Greggy, alam mo Greggy, isa lang ang requirement ko dyan. If you will ask me to be part of this. Sabi ng secretary niyo, sabi ko, basta yung open lahat ilalantad. Kung meron kayong iiwan at makita namin, amin. I mean, government. Yan. Ang problema ko, hindi natuloy yun alam mo naman mga interest groups
Okay.
hindi natuloy yun. I think for BBM, rather than saying na I will not yung PCGJ, tutuloy niya. Ang hindi maganda sa sinabi niya, I will now use PCGJ to also look into the anong ginawa ng ibang pamilya.
Everybody else, sabi niya.
That means he doesn't understand the law. Yung batas kasi PCGJ is just for the Marcos family. Meron na tayong ombudsman, subdigan pa, etc. for the others. No? I think what BBF should do is really be open. Pag nakipaghati naman sila sa gobyerno, there will still be filthy rich. You know, no matter what the ratio. To me, that's the only issue. Kung sasabihin niya, I being president, but he is the administrator of the will of the father. So, hindi niya pwedeng sabihin, hindi niya alam. Siya ang administrator. So, I said, I will settle amicably with government. What is the sentiment of the nation? Never mind yung apology. Wala na.
Yeah.
Ang titignan ng tao natin, uy, may isusoli. Oh, imagine. Yun na. Dalawa lang yan.
Do you think Lenny still has a chance? What's your sense now?
No chance.
From the ground?
No chance. I think they're trying to fake victory to justify cheating.
Okay.
This is a very personal opinion. My own assessment based on our experience before. No, nakita ko na yan. Except through cheating, she will not win. And whether she can cheat or not, sufficiently.
Yeah, kasi the margin is
is huge. No? Oh. Yan, I think we will have a BBM presidency.
Tina, you have some question? Sorry, I've been...
No, it's fine. I'm just so engrossed in the discussion. I'm learning a lot. You know? So, sabi niyo kanina, Secretary, like, whoever wins, like, you're open to serving the government still. Even if it's Lenny or...
Hindi namin kasama, 4 lang namin nag-usap. Yung sa 4, yung sa 2, alam mo,
But will you be open?
even if I want, I cannot be with Lenny. Ang nakaikot kay Lenny, talagang
You could see yourself.
they will never look at me as an independent agent vis-a-vis GMA.
Yeah.
Wala, pagdududahan ako niya. Kaya kahit kaya gusto ko, wala. Imposible.
But if, halimbawa, BBM wins, offers you Secretary,
Yun din ang tinitignan ko. I'm really thinking about this hard, no? Because para bang makakontribute ako talaga, lalo ngayon. Kasi yung experience ko sa national security, alam mo, lalo na sa conditions in the world, meron ako makontribute dyan. So I'm really looking at this talagang pero hindi pa nakakakita ng tamang oposisyon ng Pilipinas Yung bang oposisyon na constructive, yung nagre-recommend. Alam mo kasi nanonotice ko naman yung mga sinasabi ko, sinusunod ni BBM just expressing it in so many words. Alam ko yun. So sabi ko maganda yan, nakikinig ito. Kasi importante, if you're an advisor, kailangan naman receptive yung ina-advisean mo, kundi mag-aaway lang kayo, di ba? So, I don't know. I don't know yet kasi walang matinong opposition ang Pilipinas.
That's true.
No real opposition. Yung bang hindi nakikipag-away pero nagbibigay ng alternatives. Really, democracy is really about choices and alternatives to be presented clearly to the people so that they can make the correct decisions. Natutuwa ko kasi yan so, kailangan maipakita sa tao natin if we want to continue in the democratic system. So, yun ang akin. So, at least on my first year, hindi naman ako ma-appointed by first year.
Yeah, kasi...
I-introduce ko yung
Yes.
konsepto ng opposition. I will do that. And let's see what happens after.
going back to, kasi ano lang po, kasi I've been covering the palace and then also covering the defense. And going back to yung sinasabi yung threat of the destabilization. So, Secretary, do you really believe, kasi lagi sinasabi ni Presidente Duterte that the camp of President Robredo has been infiltrated by the left and has...
Yun ang very true.
Even though they've been like heavily denying it.
In fact, heavy. For example, Labor Day. One of the senatoriables of Lady Robredo is Sani Matula. Sani Matula is the president of FFW. Equally big as PUCP and KMU. Why is KMU the one celebrating with the vice president? KMU is a known front of the communists. Talagang grabe nung araw kami dyan. Yun ang kinakatakutan namin. Kasi yan ang training ground at saka recruitment ng CPP-NPA. Just before martial law, lumantad na yung KMU, nagmamarcha na yan. Pulang-pula yan. You know? Then I know that. Okay. So, that's just one example in one sector, that's labor. O, tingnan mo yung isa-isang nag-i-endorse kay... I don't know if the Vice President understands this. Actually, yung mass support ni Lenny is already controlled by the communists. Kasi sila yung may organisasyon eh. You know? Wala namang organisadong mass dyan. Sila organisado. This is the other thing that the armed forces is watching.
Yes.
Kasi ang comment ng mga officers, sabi niya, the Vice President has provided the front organizations of the extreme left the opportunity to expand, consolidate during this period. Monitor ng armed forces yan.
How do you think the left will react to a BBM presidency? Will they test? And how will they test the president?
This is when the vice president becomes very crucial.
Okay.
Does he have the capacity, the ability to stop the extreme left? Kasi talaga ang extreme left, naghahanap ng kanya yan. Nag-opportunity yan to create some destabilization lagi yan kasi primary to the ito kasi fundamental into the ideology itself. Ito ko nito eh. Kumbaga sa simbahan, dogma to. Dogma. The only way to achieve state power is through armed struggle. Kaya mag-destabilize siya. There are a few things that we should be worrying about. Kasi just before, in the beginning of the Duterte administration, alam mo naman na dominant dyan yung ilang, hindi pa pinaupo niya sa kabinete. Ilang.
Yes. Yeah.
Yung kanyang cabinet secretary, si taga Bohol, I forgot.
Yeah, si
Ibasco. Si Jun Ibasco. There's something that Jun Ibasco did. He created binaunan niya ng teams yung lahat ng cities in Metro Manila. Yung some kind of a citizens intel unit. Masamasid. Ginawa niya. That's standard communist formula in everywhere they are. No? Iba-iba lang pangalan. Pero standard ginagawa yan. Preparatory yan eh. Para kontrolin yung mga... In fact, yung killings sa drugs, 35,000. Saan ang pinapatay? Mostly urban poor communities. Kasi ang thinking na komunista nung earlier is that kung sakalit magkaroon ng destabilization, magaan, there's only one force that can stop the armed forces. Organized civilians. Kailangan kontrolado nila. Kaya tinakot actually ang communities eh. Remember the first year of the Duterte administration? Lahat ng urban communities natin, disiplinado yan. Nakabaon dyan yung masamasid. Just like in any comments, tinitingnan nila kung sino yung loyal, disloyal, ganyan. Pumasok sila sa network ng barangay. I was very disturbed during those Buti nilang parang nawala. Ay, ganyan. I would check the revival kasi alam mo, yung Masin, merong isang 5 team ng 5 personal na nakabaon bawat city. NPA yan. Active. Yung control yan. Ito ang that's why I said, baka maging ambitious sa komunista natin ulit gamitin yung opportunity. Remember that during the time of Cory, nag-boycott ang left. Umatras sila kaya nawala sila dun sa people power Ngayon, wala. Yung left na handyan sa people power.
Yeah.
Yan ako kaya si Vice President Robredo, I'm hoping really, kasi may mga retired general siya she should listen to them pagka nagkaganito Kasi kailangan mo dyan is effective communication between her people and the armed forces or the police. Otherwise, pag hindi mo na monitor na control na mabuti yan, magkakagulo talaga
So ngayon, wala kayong contact at all with her camp? I mean, you said meron siyang you have friends, pero yeah, you said already you were cut off.
Alam mo, I think I can say I have contacts with all presidential bonds except hers.
Okay.
Marami akong kaibigan doon, pero iba yung
mindset.
Iba yung mindset imagine, ako just one day before the press conference, I'm like, pinupuri ako ng lahat kasi akala nila babaliktad kami already. Day after, attack. You cannot deal with people like that.
Yeah.
Secretary, do you think the Vice President is talaga bang aware or she just refuses to acknowledge na yung infiltration sa campaign because sabi nga, di ba, her campaign refuses to take anything.
Convenience.
Yeah, refuses to take
Alam mo, kasi very difficult to judge, Pero alam mo, yung the mere fact, sinabi mo na, I will not represent the Liberal Party because I want to unite. That's, alam mo, for example, during my time, I dealt with the Muslims. The highest officials of the Muslim world nagkaroon ako opportunity to have them in conferences. My first sentence in every speech that I do is, I am a Catholic. I want you guys to know this. I'm speaking here as a Christian, Muslim lahat. Immediately, they will react. That's why I don't see any reason why she refuses to be a Liberal Party when she is the president of the Liberal Party of the Philippines. Tapos sabi niya, to unite, para mag-unite, I will remove all colors. Hindi ka i-respeto. I saw that in my own Quran. You define yourself, then you will be respected. Mas maganda ka makagawa. Tingnan mo kami nila Ping Lacson, 4 kami, pare-pareho kaming presidensya ba? I didn't say that, kakampi na ako lang sa inyo. I never said that. I'm running. I'm a presidentiable myself. And yet, we were able to form an alliance. Yun ang sinasabi ni Isko. Kung nilinaw mo lang, hindi malinaw Kaya, for example, what is the from what premise will the Vice President bargain from? Kasi you have to have a position, and you have to make clear of your position. When I say I have no position, then people will say, what are you doing there? Di ba? Yun lang ang mahirap dyan. So, aware or not aware, I have no idea.
May question. Siguro maybe last question, Secretary. Maybe a message because we're just days away from the election. Maybe if you have an opportunity to talk to the people, what would you say? What would your message be?
Given it will be judgmental, kaya di na lang. Kasi ang nasabi ko kasi when I was doon sa kabila sa Comelec, at the way things are, our people should be ready to have more of the same.
Okay.
We should be prepared to this. Because even if I'm the one as president, in the beginning, it could be more of the same because change takes time. You know, it takes time. Hindi yan basta-basta mangyayari. But what I can say is that on my end, and I hope I can attract more from the other presidential balls, we need to begin the process of change. We need to begin the process. Begin to accept the fact that we should become first world. But to do this, we need to change our political system. Maybe towards parliamentary, yung autonomy. And then, the other thing that I'm very sad about is this divide between rich and poor. Di ba pinag-usapan natin ito? That is reflective on our educational system. We should try to have one standard whether you're rich or poor as a kid sa mga bata. Then try to raise the standard of education as a primary step for becoming first world. The quality of our people is the most important when it comes to something as positive as becoming first world. Now, something more threatening, should there be? Imagine, nag-iisip tayo ng destabilization domestically. Pero baka magkaroon tayo ng gera, hindi natin alam. The quality of our people matters most in all of this. Fundamental yung pagbubuo tayo ng magandang citizenry. That's my... I will do this. I hope I can get the other guys to sama kami. I mean, sabi ko, kayo, mga bata, kami lang naman iping ang medyo kinakabahan ng kumandidato ulit eh. Pacquiao, Esko, kaya-kaya na, senador kayo, o kami ni Ping, I don't know about Ping. Ako talaga, I'm feeling it in my bones. No? Talaga. Medyo mahirapan na, di ba? But, we will, if only to trigger the process. Kasi ako, ang change, hindi po pwede yan sa matalino ko. Ako nito, nakakaintindi. No. Until and unless the people accepts the change, understands it, alam ang steps, hindi matutuloy yan. Hindi matutuloy yan. Sometime in the future, mayroong lalabas na leader dyan, papalitan lahat yan. I am also asked, paano yung secretary, yung mga ipopropose mong church or change, makakalusot ba sa kongreso yan? With all the dynasties, etc., etc. Sabi ko, yes, it's true. But let's see what the people can do when they are organized. So, yun lang ang aking, we will organize.
Thank you, Secretary, for your time, and there's a few more days, so good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Tsaka kung meron kayong iba pang message later, please, Manila Times is always happy to hear you out and give you a platform.
Ay, that's maganda yan. Kasi sa training ko, pagka may dangerous development, first move is to expose. First move. Kung hindi makaya, then other forms.
Float muna.
Float muna.